Well, welcome back to my commute. It's a beautiful rainy day this Saturday. Today is Saturday after Thanksgiving. And we just experienced something that the world has given us. Black Friday. Haha, what a beautiful thing it is. And they can have it. I don't need it. For those of you who are in retail, or perhaps in my line of work, Black Friday brings all kinds of difficulties. I realize there's some good deals and some things like that, but this time of year with Thanksgiving done and Christmas approaching and Advent just about upon us, Advent is actually a penitential season of sorts. It's not like a Lent, but it's almost like a mini Lent because we make preparations. We need to make preparations in our heart for the coming of the King. Hopefully, our hearts will be like the innkeeper who at least made a place for Jesus. I just wanted to just let all of you know that I continue to pray for you, and I also want to let you know a little bit about what happened to me on Thanksgiving, because I told you I would update you as to what exactly would happen, and I know that you've just been on the edge of your seat, just wondering what in the world happened to Ben on Thanksgiving. Well, it happened. What is the it, you ask? Well, thanks for asking. I wanted dark meat really, really badly. That's what happened. And I knew that I would have to come back on camera and tell the people that are watching exactly what happened. And I looked at that dark meat, and I thought to myself, I could do a different penance. I could do, I don't know, I could pray a decade of the rosary. I could do, I really would like some dark meat. That's what my flesh is saying, right? But the very thing we don't want to do, that needs to be the thing that we do. So I decided to knuckle under and just go for it. So I didn't have any dark meat. And so that's why I decided to call this episode Death in the Wings. So here's a photograph of the dark meat that I really wanted. And here is the photograph of what I had instead of the dark meat. Does anyone know what that second photograph is? That's something just beautiful. It's very good for you, and it's called turkey liver. Does anyone like turkey liver? Well, for those of you who haven't had any, it's an acquired taste. It's all right, but it takes a little getting used to. That's the nice way to put it. But in any case, I decided to have that. And I have to tell you, it was refreshing. And I want to highlight two things on this. It was refreshing because I did something for my soul. And I exercised my soul. And I don't know if any of you are regularly exercising, but there's something that's very special that happens to the body when we exercise. When we do pull-ups, chin-ups, go for a run, we get, like runners. I mean, you've heard of this. It's called the runner's high, right? Well, the same kind of thing happens with other kinds of exercise, whether you do, a core workout routine or whatever. When you get done, it's hard. You go through the exercise, but soon after you're done, it's like, oh man, I feel good. And that's exactly what happened to me in my soul. At the end of the meal, I thought to myself, I conquered that. With the Lord's help and with grace, I conquered that. And I had this, I had one plate of food. Normally I will have, more than that. I'll have a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit more of this and a little bit more of that. That's just kind of how I've done Thanksgiving for a good portion of my life. But taking Jose Maria Escriva's advice to just give up something during that meal, it really meant a lot to me. And this is the second thing I want to highlight. Not only did I get that, that high, in a sense, but I also recognized that because I had the accountability of this little video podcast, I would have to come back and tell you exactly what happened. It gave me more strength to do what I know I needed to do. And so I hope that every single one of us has an accountability partner, because it helps the spiritual life along in ways that are almost unexplainable. The Holy Spirit always works in a way where the iron sharpens iron. I mean, we really do help each other. And when we have a regular accountability partner, it helps us stay. I mean, obviously, we make confessions, we go and get absolution when we really blow it. And it's always good practice to maintain confession, even if we haven't committed grave sin. But having someone that we can connect with that loves us enough to sometimes corner us and say, okay, are you following through? Are you living the moral life? And someone that is a friend to us, a true friend who wants the best for us. That kind of accountability partner is really a Christian necessity. And so I just wanted to encourage all of us, that, including myself, that we need to have a regular accountability partner. So I just want to segue into something else about some of these things, like the Thanksgiving. I heard a story about a lady. Didn't catch her name, but it was a common thing for her, especially at Thanksgiving and Christmas and some of the other bigger feasts of the year. After the plates had been pulled away, and the main entrees and things like that are all done, she would say to everyone, because she was serving, she would say, "Everyone, save your fork. The best is yet to come." And everyone knew that meant dessert. Ooh, what's for dessert? So that became kind of an inside thing, like an inside joke among the family. Make sure you save your fork. We're clearing all the other plates, but save your fork. Many years went by, she became a grandma, and then eventually grandma died. But she insisted on being buried with a fork in her hand, because the best is yet to come. I love that story, so I thought I'd share it with you. That death, we talked about little deaths a couple days ago. And the little death is important to maintain. And I was reading a little bit into St. Benedict, and how in his rule that he had written for his monks, is that the monks said, we've got to have some sort of rule here. And he said, okay, fine. So he put together a rule, and his rule is so very insightful, not just for monks, but for anyone who is wanting to advance in the spiritual life. Chapter 4 of his rule is entitled "The Tools at Our Disposal for Growing in Good Works." And something really struck me as I read through it. Number 47 says, we must keep our death, always before our eyes. And at first, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. That's pretty morbid there, Benedict. But as I thought about it, I mean, that's genius. Because those of us who focus on our own death, and we really embrace the wish for a holy death, we are the ones that are really going to embrace life. And number 53, which comes just a few after number 47, says, we must be not given to too much talking. So that means I need to sign off. Have a wonderful day, and God bless you. Bye. My last breath is always on my mind. A holy death, I keep it for my eyes. Good company, the day I die.